Hey everyone, this is Jason, aka Soul Gook. I've been thinking for a while about doing a vlog series where I could give you more behind the scenes looks at how I make music, how I think about music, etc. So today, for the first vlog, I thought I'd share with you what I've got in my backpack. As a musician who's always traveling, who's always producing music on the go, over the past 2 or 3 years, I've figured out what really works the best for me when it comes to having all my equipment and all the things that I want at my fingertips, no matter where I am. When you're traveling around, you're in a lot of different environments, a boba joint or a coffee shop, an airport or an airplane or a hotel room. And in each of those places, there's different considerations for what you can do, how much space that you have, etc. So today what I'm going to show you is exactly what I put in my backpack every time I go out expecting that I'm going to be making music that day. Alright, so let's begin and see what I have in my backpack. The most important piece of kit for any computer-based music producer these days is, of course, their laptop. And when you're picking a laptop, you've got to decide whether this is going to be your all-the-time computer or if it's going to be just the thing that you're using on the go. I really wanted to have one laptop that did everything rather than having a desktop laptop setup. And so what I decided to get was Microsoft Surface Book 2. Microsoft's convertible laptop. It's different than the Surface Pro series in that it actually has a hard base, which means it can look more like a laptop and do more laptop-like things. In addition to just having a battery that makes it last longer, it also has a GPU, a graphics processing unit, in the base. So I can also use this for video editing. It has an i7 processor, so it's fast enough, 8 gigs of RAM, which is enough for the things I need to do. And one of the things that I really like about it is the fact that it does convert. As a musician, I've found it really useful to put it in this mode. What I really like about this tablet mode on the Surface Book is that you still have the processing power of the GPU and the extra battery, but the screen's a little bit closer to you when you're in close quarters. That way you can have your MIDI controller right next to it. The DAW that I run is Reaper. It's been my favorite for a really long time. It's lightweight, but it's still powerful enough to make a professional sounding music. Okay, so that's the laptop itself. What did I use with it? So the next piece of kit that I've got right here, this is actually a Case Logic case for cassettes that I found hanging out at my parents' house, but it was perfectly sized for a ROLI Seaboard block. The ROLI Blocks series is a bunch of modular MIDI controllers, and I have 2 Seaboard blocks as well as a Lightpad block. This is the first generation one, not the Lightpad M, as well as a live block. What I really like about this modular setup is that I have the makings of basically the equivalent to a Seaboard Rise 49, which is one of ROLI's main MIDI controllers. But those are full-size keys, while these are about 80% size keys. They connect through magnetic adapters, so then I've got 49 keys all lined up at once. So let's go ahead and hook this all up. Once I get everything set up, I've got my Lightpad block as an XY pad, and then I've got the 2 Seaboards as the key bed. It's really awesome when I've got like a whole table at the coffee shop to myself, or if I'm in a hotel room and I've got a few hours to burn before a show. But what if I don't have all that space? Oftentimes on a plane, I'll have just this, or sometimes just the Seaboard. Now sometimes I'll use just the Lightpad. I just like the feel of it for making drum beats. So sometimes I'll be sitting with just my laptop and the Lightpad like this. I can really focus in on what I want to do, and it's really nice. So that's super satisfying. But if you notice, one of the problems that I have, all the different things I'm doing on them, vibrato, slides, hits, all of those register in different ways. That's really great but it also means that if someone's sitting at a table with me, or if they're the person in front of me on an airplane, then they're feeling all of this, regardless of whether I've got the sound on or not. You want to be a good neighbor when you're at a coffee shop, when you're sitting down at Starbucks. It's cool if you've got one table to yourself, but if you don't, then you want to be nice to the people around you. So I set that aside and started to think maybe I could come up with some other solution. And that's the next thing that's in my backpack. The last MIDI device in my backpack is an Audio Keystation Mini 32. This is not a particularly fancy piece of equipment, but it does what I need it to do. It's got a pretty slim profile, but it's still got a nice number of keys. So it gives me about 2.5 octaves. It's that little bit extra that lets me be expressive in the way that I want to. So what I really like about having a piece of kit like this, it's pretty cheap, but it's portable and it's relatively quiet. Because it's not super sensitive, that means that I can sit and play and not bother anyone. And additionally, if I'm in a location where I don't have a table, I can rest this on my lap and play things out pretty well. One problem that I've had with my ROLI products is that because they're squishy, if I put them on top of my lap, which is also squishy, I lose some of the pressure that I needed to play the instrument well. So what's left in my backpack? Well, these are all the MIDI controllers. This is my laptop. So the last thing that you need when you're on the go, of course, is a pair of headphones. What I've got right here in this nice little carrying case that came from the manufacturer, it's just a pair of Audio-Technica headphones. It's nice and compact, it's collapsible. It's not the greatest pair of headphones in the universe. That's not really what I'm looking for. I need something that's dependable and not too expensive so that if something does happen to it, I don't freak out. Basically, with all of this gear, I can make all of the music that's my backing tracks on all of the songs that you hear on the Soul Gook channel. Obviously, if I'm recording Danbo or any of my other acoustic Vietnamese traditional instruments, then I need to actually be in a sound recording situation. So anyway, that's my setup. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Hope you guys keep enjoying my music, and I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.